Hello everyone, welcome back to another movie review. This time I'm looking at the brand new Netflix release Enola Holmes. This movie is a mystery film by Legendary Pictures and Netflix that was directed by Harry Bradbeer and based on the Enola Holmes Mysteries, a series of 6 books written by Nancy Springer between 2006 and 2010, which exist within the world created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in 1887. So, Enola Holmes is set in the year 1884 and stars Millie Bobby Brown as, well, Enola Holmes, the younger sister of Sherlock and Mycroft. Viewers will likely recognize her from the Stranger Things series as well as the recent Godzilla King of the Monsters. She's set to reprise her role in the sequel, Godzilla vs. Kong, should it ever actually get released. That movie's been delayed multiple times, but so has everything, because we are living in 2020. So, yeah, I've been a pretty big fan of hers since the first season of Stranger Things, and so far she seems to choose roles that I find interesting, and this one is no exception. Here she plays the extremely high-spirited and possibly schizophrenic Enola, who goes on a quest to find her mother after she mysteriously vanishes without a trace, all the while dodging Mycroft's attempts to catch her and make her a civilized member of Victorian society, and making frequent fourth wall breaks to talk directly to the audience at every opportunity. Her character is essentially the antithesis of a Victorian lady, having been homeschooled by her mother her entire life and taught skills like reading, analytical thinking, deduction, physical fitness, and fight combat. A little known fact about Millie is that she actually trains in Muay Thai and has for a number of years, so it's actually good to see a movie attempt to utilize some of that. And, even though her character spends way too much time trying to pull off a jujitsu technique that she clearly isn't getting, but, she does finally perfect it by the end. So there's that. Her co-stars in this movie include an extremely high-profile cast with such actors as Helena Bonham Carter, who I think was perfectly cast as her missing mother Eudora, Sam Claflin as her asshole brother Mycroft. I've never liked the character of Mycroft, and I don't think I've ever disliked him more than in this movie. And then we also have relative newcomer Louis Partridge as Viscount Irritation Marquess of Bothersomeshire, and Torchwood's hilariously named Burn Gorman as the bowler hat wearing assassin with the totally unmemorable face. And of course, our all time favorite, Henry Cavill as Sherlock Holmes himself, whom most of you will probably, of course, fondly remember from his standout performance as Mike in Hellraiser Hellworld. So without getting into too much plot details or anything, as this is a mystery film, so I don't really want to talk about the details of the story, so because you tend to spoil things when you do that, except to say that it all makes sense in the end, which is important in a mystery film. The pacing's good, the acting is excellent in many parts, and it does a really great job of introducing the characters of this version of the story, because obviously Enola is not a character that was originally in Conan Doyle's works, so, this is going to be a different take on many of the characters. Despite what I'm sure many people are claiming on the internet, because that's the world we live in, I don't feel like this movie really has a problem with Enola being a Mary Sue, and I also don't feel like the movie set out to denigrate men in any real way. It clearly establishes throughout why she knows the skills she does, and is still very much in the learning phase in a lot of aspects. And the movie does give us characters like Tewksbury, who's somehow both miraculously a Viscount and a Marquess, which not sure how that works. But he's also simultaneously playing the role of the damsel in distress as well. And of course, Cavill absolutely nails it as Sherlock in what little time he has with the role. I really wish they had given him more screen time, but this is Enola Holmes, not Sherlock Holmes, so I kind of understand. So as for the rating, I think I'm going to give this a 7 out of 10. I really thoroughly enjoyed it and would love to see a sequel either on Netflix or in movie theaters in the next few years, assuming those are still a thing by then. And I have unfortunately not read any of the books, so I can't really comment on how closely the story follows any of them or if it does at all. But I'd love to see further adventures of both Millie's Enola and Henry's Sherlock, because I felt they had really great chemistry in the scenes that they did have together, and there's a lot of potential for many entertaining adventures in the future. Apparently, both Millie and the director have expressed interest in a sequel. However, there's this slight issue of the matter of a pending lawsuit against Netflix from the Doyle estate, due to the fact that Cavill apparently portrayed Holmes as a person with actual emotions, and I guess that's a big no-no. So, think about that going forward, Henry. If you're going to do a movie role, make sure you don't have emotions. Which, interestingly enough, I think there's a point in the movie where Enola actually scolds him for being emotional. So I guess she had a point. But, hopefully that doesn't affect the chances of a sequel getting released in the future. I don't think it will, because, Netflix probably has ways, probably going to make more money off of this than what they would lose in the lawsuit, assuming they actually lose the lawsuit. But despite all of that, I'd say definitely give this movie a watch, and be sure to check out our next video, which will be my review of the Shudder TV series version of The Deadlands. And that'll be out sometime in the next couple of days. And of course, the Courageour Nights will return this weekend for the video game and movie news roundup. It's going to be a long one this time, too. So, thanks for watching this, and hope to see you then. Bye.